This tutorial will walk you through the process of receiving leads from any source via Zapier and then using Zapier to send that data into your Lead Prosper account. One situation where this may be necessary could be if you are using a piece of software or a WordPress plugin that either doesn't have direct webhook integrations or doesn't allow you to customize your webhook body, headers, and other features. This could cause failed leads due to incorrect formatting. For this demonstration, we will show you the process of collecting data via webhook URL to Zapier, then sending that data into your Lead Prosper account. In Zapier, this will be a two-step process, a trigger followed by an action. However, if you have an application that already has an integration with Zapier, you can go directly from that trigger into your Lead Prosper action without needing to use a webhook URL. It is important to note that for the trigger, anything can be used, not just webhooks. Examples of this include Typeform, Google Sheets, Facebook Leads ads, etc. We'll start with our sample Zapier API specs. The three values you need from here are the LP campaign ID, LP supplier ID, and LP key. Next, click over to the dashboard of your Zapier account. Create a new Zap, choosing Webhooks by Zapier on the left and Lead Prosper on the right of the form. Then select Catch Hook and Send Lead to your direct post campaign. Click Try It to finish creating your Zap. The first part of the Zap is the trigger. The data comes into this webhook URL and is ingested and mapped. The second portion of the Zap is the action, where the data is sent to your direct post campaign in Lead Prosper. To get started, under App and Event, ensure Webhooks by Zapier and Catch Hook are selected, and click Continue. Leave the child key under Trigger blank and click Continue. Next, copy your webhook URL and paste it into whichever form or application you are using and send a test lead. Once the data is ingested into Zapier, you can map the fields to the campaign fields inside of your Lead Prosper campaign. Here, we'll submit a test from our sample form off screen. Next, select Test Trigger. Here you see the test data that was sent in. Click Continue with selected record. Here you have the option to choose your LP account. If you want to change or select a new account, click the Change button. This will bring up a window where you'll enter your developer API key. To retrieve this API key, go to your Lead Prosper account. Under the Lead Prosper drop-down in the top right corner, select Developer API key. Copy this key, paste it into Zapier, and click Continue. Once your Lead Prosper account is connected, click Continue. Here you will select your Lead Prosper campaign and enter the LP campaign ID, LP supplier ID, and LP key from your supplier API specs. Make sure you leave the mode in test mode. This ensures that every lead will be marked as a test and therefore not charged to your Lead Prosper account. It is very important that when you are ready to go live, you return to this page and select production mode. Otherwise, leads will continue to be marked as tests and will not be distributed to buyers. You'll then map your Lead Prosper fields to the fields that were ingested from the form. When your form is complete, it should resemble the one seen on screen. In situations where you have data coming in that is not in the correct format for Lead Prosper, for example, if you have phone numbers coming in the US format rather than the 10-digit format requested by the API specs, you'll need to use what's called a formatter in Zapier. This will transform the data into the correct format so that it will be ingested properly. If you are ever unsure of the format requirements for a specific field, consult the far right column of your Lead Prosper API specs. After making sure all required fields have a value mapped to them, click Continue. Click Test Step. The Zap will then post to Lead Prosper. It will give you back a value and lead status. Once you have an accepted test lead, set the mode on your Zap to production mode, then publish. That's all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching.